Xuanixin let out another dragon roar. Her body started to change rapidly. Her black robe exploded and a huge snow dragon appeared in the sky. So it's a true dragon. You guys are from the Dragon God Valley. The voice of the Desire Poison Sex prodigy rang out from the poisonous gas. Roar! Xuanixin turned into her true dragon form and let out a long roar. She opened her mouth and spat out a terrifying wave of frost that covered a 10-mile radius. The 10-mile radius was completely frozen. This time, some of the poisonous gas was frozen. However, there was still a lot of poisonous gas that turned into weapons that shot toward Xuanixin. Xuanixin stepped out with her dragon claws and clashed with the weapons. The two exchanged blows, but it was difficult to determine the victor. That's a true dragon. How terrifying. And the Desire Poison Sex prodigy. The battle was so intense that many people in the distance were alerted and flew over. Even the people in the Supreme Treasure Pavilion were alerted and flew over to take a look. In an instant, the battlefield was filled with people. What terrifying battle prowess. She's only a 6th-layer martial emperor. She must be a top prodigy with a superior earth spiritual body. Many people commented. In the blink of an eye, Xuanixin and her opponent had exchanged dozens of blows. The prodigy of the Desire Poison sect became more and more impatient as the battle continued. He had initially thought that he would be able to defeat Lu Ming and the others easily. He could even kill a 7th-layer martial emperor with ease, let alone a 6th-layer martial emperor. In fact, ordinary 8th-layer martial emperors would be poisoned to death if they were not careful. However, someone with the same cultivation level was able to fight him to a draw. He knew that he had encountered a genius of the same cultivation as him. You guys attack and kill those two. The prodigy of the Desire Poison sect yelled. Whoosh! Whoosh! The other two prodigies of the Desire Poison sect charged toward Lu Ming and Tian Shui. Their auras were at the peak of the 7th-layer martial emperor realm. Buzz! Buzz! As soon as the two of them attacked, densely packed poisonous insects pounced toward Lu Ming and Skyhammer. Die! Tian Shui let out a furious roar as he swung his giant hammer forward. Bang! The sky shook crazily. The huge hammer smashed down, bringing with it a terrifying shockwave. Those poisonous insects were all blown apart, turning into ashes. Not only that, but the shockwaves did not stop as they struck the two prodigies of the Desire Poison sect. The bodies of the two Desire Poison sect members exploded, turning into green poisonous gas that tumbled and flew backwards before condensing back together. The two prodigies stared at Tian Shui in shock. Although they had poisonous bodies and could turn into poisonous gas to counteract the attack, there was a limit to it. If the attack was too strong, it could still injure or even kill them. Tian Shui's attack had already injured them. Kill. I don't care if you have poisonous bodies, I'll crush them all. Tian Shui raised his giant hammer and charged toward the two prodigies of the Desire Poison sect. There was no need for Lu Ming to attack. Oh no! The two prodigies of the Desire Poison sect were shocked. They formed a shield with their poisonous insects and blocked in front of them. However, under Tian Shui's hammer, the insects collapsed. The two prodigies of the Desire Poison sect's prodigies were shattered again and reformed in the distance. Their faces were pale, and blood was flowing out of their mouths. Die! Tian Shui stepped forward. How dare you? Don't even think about killing the prodigies of the Desire Poison sect. Several figures flew over from afar. Before they even arrived, disgusting poisonous gas had already spread toward Tian Shui. Some of the prodigies of the Desire Poison sect saw it and joined the battle. You have more people? Lu Ming said coldly. He stepped forward and appeared in front of the prodigies of the Desire Poison sect. Devouring power erupted from his palm and enveloped the poisonous gas. Hoo-hoo, the poisonous gas was completely devoured by Lu Ming. Bang! Bang! Then, Lu Ming stepped into the void and 9 dragons rushed out. They charged toward the prodigies of the Desire Poison sect and sent them flying. Bang! On the other side, the prodigy who had been fighting with Xuanixin turned into a cloud of poisonous gas and retreated. He then reformed into a human form. It was a youth with a pale and cold face. Set up the poisonous gas array. Chapter 1523. Yes, The other members of the Desire Poison sect replied. Poisonous insects flew out of their bodies and flew toward Lu Ming's group. At the same time, their figures flickered as they took mysterious positions, following which their bodies began to disperse into green poisonous gas. At this moment, the poisonous gas crazily expanded until it covered the sky and enveloped Lu Ming's group. Lu Ming and Tian Shui tore off their black robes and met up with Xuanixin. The three of them stood together. This is the poison array. Be careful, Xuanixin said. Her enormous body was covered in snow-white sparkling dragon scales. She was filled with a sense of beauty, like the most beautiful piece of art in the world. Let me, Lu Ming said coldly as his primal chaos domain spread out. Lightning. Following which, Lu Ming waved his hand, and the chaotic territory turned into a thunder territory. Thunderbolts appeared all over the sky, and there seemed to be countless lightning snakes swimming in the sky. Each of the lightning snakes was as thick as an arm, and they spread out in all directions. The poisonous insects were struck by these lightning snakes and fell down in droves. Fire, Lu Ming continued. The primal chaos domain changed again, turning into flames that filled the sky. The flames accompanied the lightning as they surged toward the poisonous insects and the poisonous gas. Chi, 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 puff, 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 swoosh. Following which, a pair of black wings appeared on Lu Ming's back. The black wings expanded to a length of 100 meters. The black wings were covered with the wind domain. Lu Ming's entire body began to spin rapidly. Hoo! The black wings brought with them endless gales that surged in all directions with astonishing power. Lightning, fire, and wind surged in the world, resisting the poisonous gas in all directions. For a moment they were in a deadlock. Senior brother, senior sister, get ready to attack. Lu Ming transmitted to Tian Shui and Xuanixin. Thereupon, kill, 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 kill. Lu Ming roared. With a series of roars, a formless spiritual attack shot towards the poison gas. The people of the Desire Poison sect cultivated the poison body. Their bodies could disperse, but their souls were still attached to the poisonous gas. They would still be attacked by Lu Ming. Furthermore, because the spirit body was scattered, the defense against the soul was even weaker. Lu Ming used the divine sword art, and with a few loud roars, a few miserable shrieks came out from the poisonous gas. The balls of poisonous gas twisted violently, and then gathered together to form a human shape. Kill! Kill! Lu Ming, Tian Shui, and Xuanixin roared as they charged at a Desire Poison sect's disciple. The black dragon spear appeared in Lu Ming's hand, and he smashed it down. In an instant, a tenfold attack power erupted, causing the void to tremble violently. Bang! The Desire Poison sect's disciple screamed as his body was torn apart. This time, he didn't turn into poisonous gas. Instead, he was truly torn apart. Lu Ming's attack had exceeded his limit, so he was killed by Lu Ming. On the other side, Tian Shui and Xuanixin also used their strongest attacks, each killing a person. After killing 3 people, the poisonous gas array broke. The remaining poisonous gas began to churn, condensing into 3 people that quickly retreated. One of them was the supreme prodigy of the Desire Poison sect. Today, the ones who will die will be you. Tian Shui roared as he raised his hammer and charged at the Desire Poison sect's disciples. Lu Ming and Xuanixin also stepped forward. What's going on? The spectators scratched their heads in confusion. Previously, the powerful figures of the Desire Poison sect had set up a poison gas array, enveloping an area and trapping Lu Ming and the other 2. They had thought that Lu Ming and the other 2 were dead for sure. Unexpectedly, in the next moment, there were flashes of lightning, flames, and strong winds within the poison gas array. Then, there were several loud shouts, and the poison gas array collapsed. A few people from the Desire Poison sect were killed one after another. The remaining few people were at a disadvantage and kept retreating. They didn't understand how the Desire Poison sect had lost. The remaining members of the Desire Poison sect had ugly expressions. Lu Ming's roars had injured their souls, so they weren't a match for Lu Ming's group. Lu Ming! At this moment, a loud roar resounded through the world. At least 8 or 9 rays of demonic light tore through the void and flew toward Lu Ming's group. In the next moment, 9 figures appeared behind Lu Ming's group, forming a pincer attack with the Desire Poison sect. Emohi! Lu Ming's face turned cold. The 9 figures were all disciples of the Sky Universe Demon sect, and one of them was Emohi. Emohi's body was filled with killing intent, and his eyes were sharp as they swept over Lu Ming. Brother Wu, why don't we join forces and kill these 3? Emohi looked at the Desire Poison sect's genius and asked. Of course, the Desire Poison sect's genius was overjoyed and quickly agreed. A trace of malevolence flashed in his eyes. It seemed that Lu Ming's group of 3 had offended many people. Emohi, you're courting death, Lu Ming said coldly. Originally, he didn't want to have a bad relationship with the Sky Universe Demon sect because of Xian Yanqing. However, the Sky Universe Demon sect had gone too far. Back then, Emohi had brought people to kill him. If he hadn't been lucky, he would have died. Every time he met Emohi in Song Mountain, the other party wanted to kill him. Lu Ming decided that if he faced the Sky Universe Demon sect again, he wouldn't be merciful. He would kill those who deserved to die. Do you think you can kill me? Emohi sneered. Demonic chi surged from his body as he unsheathed his demonic saber and slashed at Lu Ming. Brat, I'll deal with you, Tian Shui shouted as he raised his giant hammer and smashed it at Emohi. Clang! The demonic saber and the giant hammer collided, and an earth-shattering sound rang out. Emohi and Tian Shui's bodies shook as they both retreated. Again, Tian Shui's eyes were filled with malevolence. He was like a barbaric dragon, and his muscles bulged as a dragon's roar sounded. He raised his giant hammer and smashed it at Emohi. Kill! Emohi shouted as his demonic saber burst forth. It was even more terrifying as it charged at Tian Shui. Boom! 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 In an instant, the two of them exchanged more than 10 moves, but there was no clear winner. Attack! At this moment, Lu Ming and Xuanixin also attacked. Lu Ming's black wings flapped as he charged at the people from the Sky Universe Demon sect. He thrust out his black dragon spear, which turned into a dazzling light. Puff! A young man from the Sky Universe Demon sect, who was at the peak of the 5th layer martial royal realm, was killed by Lu Ming. Then, the long spear swept out, and a rank 6 martial royal realm cultivator's body exploded. Roar! Xuanixin cooperated with Lu Ming and pounced on the people from the Sky Universe Demon sect. One of them was killed by a claw. Kill! There was also an expert from the Sky Universe Demon sect. A young man at the peak of the 7th layer martial royal realm erupted with shocking battle strength as he fought with Xuanixin. However, Lu Ming was invincible. After several people were killed by Lu Ming, the remaining people from the Sky Universe Demon sect turned pale and retreated. They did not dare to fight against Lu Ming. What powerful battle strength! That guy from the Dragon God Valley is so strong that he can fight Emohi to a standstill. How terrifying! Emohi is a top genius of the Sky Universe Demon sect. He is considered a top genius in the entire Tsang continent. Who is that guy? How can he fight Emohi to such an extent? It seems to be that crazy guy from the Dragon God Valley, Tian Shui. Chapter 1524. Tian Shui loved to battle and was fond of killing. Thus he was quite famous among the crowd. And that snow dragon, its strength is quite shocking too. It seems to be stronger than an ordinary dragon. Indeed, it should be a genius among the true dragons. And that 4th layer martial dominator, his strength is quite shocking too. That's where you're wrong. That 4th layer martial dominator cultivator is relying on a sacred weapon. Did you see the wings on his back and the spear in his hand are both sacred weapons? That's why his strength is so strong. Without a sacred weapon, his strength would only be ordinary. That's true. The disciples of the various sects began to discuss among themselves. In the sky, Lu Ming executed his movement technique and lunged toward a 6th layer martial dominator. The person's expression changed greatly, as he did not dare to face Lu Ming's attack head-on. Croak. At that instant, a croak could be heard as a giant golden toad lunged toward Lu Ming. It opened its mouth and emitted a poisonous gas toward Lu Ming. The poisonous gas of a sacred weapon. Lu Ming's expression changed slightly He could tell at a glance that the golden toad was a sacred weapon. The poisonous gas of a sacred weapon was absolutely terrifying. Whoosh! Lu Ming quickly backed away, not wanting to come into contact with the poisonous gas. The young genius of the Desire Poison sect controlled the golden toad and chased after Lu Ming. Croak! Croak! The golden toad cried out as if it were alive. It kicked the air and turned into a golden ray that charged toward Lu Ming. Whoosh! Following this, a golden ray was fired from the toad's mouth and penetrated Lu Ming's body. Tongue! Lu Ming's eyes flickered. The golden ray was the tongue of the toad. Whoosh! The black dragon spear stabbed forward like a black lightning bolt. Ding! 2 rays of light, one black and one golden, collided in the air. Lu Ming's figure shuddered as he was knocked 2 steps backward. Meanwhile, the tongue of the toad was knocked flying. What a powerful force! Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. His opponent's saint weapon was truly powerful. Not only did it have a poison attack, it also had a tongue attack. Without a doubt, if he was struck by that tongue, he would definitely be killed. Croak! The golden toad cried out and spat out poisonous gas from its mouth. Get the hell back! Lu Ming coldly spoke. His black wings flapped, causing a gale to sweep forward. The poisonous gas was blown off course by the gale. A Sky Universe Devil Sect disciple was careless and was enveloped by the poisonous gas. He immediately let out a mournful scream. In just a few breaths of time, he turned into a skeleton and fell to the ground. What a terrifying poison! That disciple of the demon sect was a low-earth spiritual body cultivator, but he had died in a few breaths. The Desire Poison sect's youth's face was dark as he controlled the golden toad to attack Lu Ming. Whoosh! Just at this moment, a terrifying sharpness stabbed towards Lu Ming from behind. It was a spear, the spear of divine retribution. This spear of divine punishment was too fast, and its power was too shocking. Not good. The moment Lu Ming felt it, his body stiffened as if a terrifying aura had locked onto him. In the next instant, the spear of divine punishment was about to pierce through Lu Ming's body. It was too fast. So fast that Lu Ming did not even have time to react. Puff! The spear of divine punishment pierced through Lu Ming's body. However, at this moment, Lu Ming's body shattered like a mirror with a loud bang. A dozen meters away, Lu Ming's figure appeared. Lu Ming felt a layer of cold sweat on his back. That attack had been too dangerous. Lu Ming had almost been killed. Luckily, Bubble had acted at the critical moment and used the space-time domain to move Lu Ming a dozen meters away, allowing him to avoid a calamity. A figure appeared where Lu Ming had been and a cold voice resounded. Space-time domain! It's him! Lu Ming's eyes turned cold. The person who had appeared was the genius of the Heavenly God sect, who had chased after Lu Ming previously, Shiguan. This person was a 9th-layer martial dominator realm genius, who had tried to ambush Qin Nan. Space-time domain? Die! Shiguan said coldly as he lashed out with the spear of divine punishment in his hand, causing the air to explode. The spear of divine punishment was aimed at Lu Ming. Lu Ming's forehead emitted a glow, forming a shield in front of him. At the same time, his black wings protected his body. Bang! The shield was instantly sent flying as the spear of divine punishment struck Lu Ming's black wings. Lu Ming's body shuddered violently as he was sent flying like a cannonball. Puff! Lu Ming spat out a mouthful of fresh blood. His opponent was too powerful. Even with the protection of a sacred weapon, he was still severely injured. Die! Shiguan said coldly as his body was bathed in a sacred glow. He took a step forward and charged at Lu Ming with the spear of divine punishment. The spear of divine punishment was aimed at Lu Ming's forehead, as if it could penetrate anything in the world. However, at this crucial moment, a cold aura was emitted from below as an icy sword stabbed at Shiguan at a terrifying speed. Shiguan's expression changed. The icy sword posed a fatal threat to him. He no longer cared about killing Lu Ming, as he swung the spear of divine punishment at the icy sword. Bang! A shocking explosion could be heard as a terrifying shockwave swept in all directions. With the help of the shockwave, Lu Ming was sent flying over 10 li away with a cold look in his eyes. Previously, he had decided to cooperate with Bubble and fight to the death. Even if he were to die in the battle, He would not let his opponent have an easy time. However, it seemed like there was no need for that now. Han Chao, it's you. Shi Guan's figure also retreated as he shouted coldly. At this moment, a young man appeared in front of Shi Guan. The young man was slender and handsome. He wore a snow-white robe with an ice dragon embroidered on it. He was a disciple of the Dragon God Valley and the Ice Dragon Valley. So many people from the three sects are attacking three disciples of the Dragon God Valley. Now, even a martial royal realm 9th layer cultivator like you is attacking. Haha, how shameless. The young man from the Ice Dragon Valley, Han Chao, sneered. This Lu Ming has killed many people from the Heavenly God sect. He must die. There's no need to use any means. Shi Guan said coldly. Haha, killed many people from the Heavenly God sect. What a joke. Have you not killed many disciples of the Dragon God Valley in the past few years? Does that mean that I have to kill all of the people from the Heavenly God sect whenever I see them? Do I have to use any means? Han Chao said with a mocking smile. Shi Guan's face darkened. Indeed, the Dragon God Valley and the Heavenly God sect were not on good terms. It was normal for them to kill each other. However, there were still rules. For example, the Sage Realm experts from both sides would not attack the juniors of the other side. That would cause chaos. Han Chao, you don't have to say anything. Today these people must die. Shi Guan said. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, figures flew over from all directions. There were at least a few dozen people standing behind Shi Guan. They were all disciples of the Heavenly God sect. Whoosh, whoosh. Chapter 1525. Boom. Tian Shui and Emohi exchanged a blow and separated. Tian Shui went to Lu Ming's side. Xuaningxin also stopped and went to Lu Ming's side. She looked around solemnly. There were at least 100 people from the Heavenly God sect, Empyrean Demon sect, and Desire Poison sect. Their auras surged and suppressed Lu Ming's group. Cold murderous intent filled the air. Now I don't need to do anything. They're all dead meat. Shi Guan sneered. Do you really think there's no one in the Dragon God Valley? Where are the disciples of the Dragon God Valley? Han Chao shouted. His voice spread far and wide. Senior brother, let me help you. I'll do it. Voices rang out. Then, figures flashed across the sky and landed behind Han Chao. They were the disciples of the Dragon God Valley. More and more disciples of the Dragon God Valley rushed out from the crowd. Everyone, this was caused by Lu Ming and the other two from the Cloud Dragon Valley. Why should we get involved in this mess? He stood in front of a few disciples of the Dragon God Valley and said. He wanted Lu Ming to be surrounded by the three sections. He couldn't wait for Lu Ming to be killed. Naturally, he didn't want anyone to help him. Although the 7 valleys of the Dragon God Valley have some competition with each other, we have to be on the same side. If you're not going to do anything, get out of my way. A disciple of the Black Dragon Valley shouted and flew toward the battlefield. The other disciples of the Dragon God Valley also flew toward the battlefield. Yu's face turned ugly. He snorted and blended into the crowd. How could he do anything? There were more than 40 disciples of the Dragon God Valley behind Han Chao. The auras of both sides exploded. The atmosphere was tense and tense. Han Chao, you think the Dragon God Valley can go against the three sects? How naive. Fine, I'll kill all of you today. Shi Guan's eyes were filled with cold murderous intent. The three sects had the absolute advantage. They could use this opportunity to kill a group of Dragon God Valley's elites and weaken the Dragon God Valley's strength. Who are you going to kill? A faint voice came from the sky. Boom. Then, a terrifying aura pressed down from the sky towards Shi Guan. Shi Guan's expression changed drastically. He roared angrily, and holy light erupted from his body to resist this aura. However, the holy light on his body trembled violently, and he couldn't help but take a few steps back. He looked at the sky with an ugly expression. Zifeng. Shi Guan roared angrily, a serious look in his eyes. At that moment, everyone's gazes were also focused on the sky. High up in the sky, a purple-robed youth stood with his hands behind his back. His gaze swept across the Heavenly God sect, Sky Universe Demon sect, and Desire Poison sect indifferently. Zifeng, the #1 genius of the Dragon God Valley, one of the top 10 geniuses of the Tsang state. A message appeared in Lu Ming's mind. Senior Brother Zifeng. It's Senior Brother Zifeng. The other disciples of Dragon God Valley were overjoyed. Zifeng had arrived. They knew that even if there was a battle today they would not lose. Zifeng, you want to interfere? Guan said as he looked at Zifeng with an ugly expression. Although his combat strength was strong, it was nothing compared to Zifeng, who was a genius of the Tsang state. He could probably kill him in one move. The three of you have joined forces to bully my Dragon God Valley. What's wrong with me interfering? Zifeng said indifferently, and took a step forward. Roar. An earth-shattering dragon roar came from his body. The shadow of a purple true dragon soared into the sky, and looked down in all directions. A terrifying pressure pressed down on the disciples of the Heavenly God sect, Sky Universe Demon sect, and Desire Poison sect. The expressions of the disciples of the three forces changed drastically. It was as if a huge rock was pressing down on them, and they couldn't even breathe properly. This pressure? It's so strong. Is this the combat strength of a genius? We can't fight back at all. It's as if we're facing a Sage Realm expert. The disciples of the three sects revealed looks of fear on their faces. Their combat strength was far inferior to Zifeng's. If they attacked, they would be slaughtered. Zifeng, as one of the top 10 geniuses of the Tsang state, aren't you afraid of being laughed at by others for attacking these ordinary disciples? At that moment, a domineering voice sounded. A burly figure stepped into the air and stood not far away from Zifeng. Demonic chi surged from his body, and a powerful aura rushed out and destroyed Zifeng's aura. The disciples of the three forces felt their bodies lighten. Senior Brother Imo Yang. The disciples of the Sky Universe Demon sect cried out in surprise. Imo Yang, one of the top 10 geniuses, is here too. Some of the spectators sucked in a breath of cold air. But at the same time, they were also excited. 2 of the top 10 geniuses of the Tsang state had arrived. Could it be that the top 10 geniuses were going to fight in advance today? The top 10 geniuses of the Tsang state had fought at the Tsang State Treasure Assembly 3 years ago. In the past 3 years, they had all been cultivating in seclusion in order to suppress the other geniuses at the Treasure Assembly. They hadn't fought for 3 years. Everyone was very curious. After 3 years, to what extent had the combat strength of the top 10 monstrous geniuses reached? Others are laughing at us. Don't you think that the Celestial God sect, the Sky Universe Demon sect, and the Poison sect are the laughingstock? Generally speaking, before the Treasure Assembly, those who are above the 7th level of the Martial Royal Realm would be preparing for the Treasure Assembly and wouldn't fight easily. The period before the Assembly is the stage for geniuses below the 7th level of the Martial Royal Realm. They will fight again and again. Those who are above the 7th level of the Martial Royal Realm are not allowed to interfere. But what about you? After saying that, Zifeng's gaze swept across the disciples of the 3 major sections. Among these people, at least 1/3 of them were above the 7th level of the Martial Royal Realm. That's right. The Celestial God sect, the Sky Universe Demon sect, and the Poison sect were the first to besiege us. With their geniuses above the 7th level of the Martial Royal Realm, they besieged 2 6th level of the Martial Royal Realm and 1 4th level of the Martial Royal Realm. However, they still couldn't defeat our disciples. In the end, even Guan had to sneak up on them. What a joke! Han Chao said coldly and mockingly. Guan's face turned ghastly pale. Zifeng and Han Chao were right. Before the Treasure Assembly, it was a fight between disciples below the 7th level of the Martial Royal Realm. Those who were above the 7th level of the Martial Royal Realm would not interfere. Previously, if he had quickly killed Lu Ming and the other 2 and left, it would have been fine. However, now that he had done so, he would definitely be criticized and dissatisfied by the other sections. There were 13 top sects in the Tsang Prefecture, not just the few of them. This was the common unspoken rule of the 13 sections. Well, in that case, let's meet at the Treasure Assembly in 10 days. Let's see how strong the backup force of the Dragon God Valley is. Imo Yang said domineeringly. That's right. At the Treasure Assembly in 10 days. Unless the Dragon God Valley withdraws. Let's see how you will die. Unless the Dragon God Valley doesn't participate. Hee hee, that's not bad. The treasure assembly of the Dragon God Valley can end early, Shiguan said coldly. He knew that with the arrival of the two monstrous geniuses, Zifeng and Emo Yang, there would be no fight today. Chapter 1526. Then, I'll see you at the treasure ordering meeting in 10 days, Zifeng said. Let's go. Emo Yang was the first to turn around and leave. He glared fiercely at Lu Ming, and left with the people from the Tianyu demon sect. Then, the people from the Heavenly God sect and the Poison sect also left. In the blink of an eye, all the people from the three sects had left. The storm had come to an end. Lu Ming, thank you senior brother Zifeng, and senior brother Han Chao for your help. Xuaningxin, thank you. Lu Ming, Tian Shui, and Xuaningxin cupped their fists at Zifeng and Han Chao to express their gratitude. You're welcome. The three of you are good. The three of you should participate in the treasure ordering meeting. Zifeng nodded. Treasure ordering meeting? Lu Ming was still in a daze. Isn't this the treasure ordering meeting? Why is there a treasure ordering meeting? Senior brother, don't worry. I was just about to participate. I'll kill the Heavenly God sect, and the other two sects to my heart's content. Tian Shui grinned, his eyes full of malevolence. Xuaningxin nodded in agreement. Let's return to the station first. Zifeng nodded and stepped out, disappearing in the blink of an eye. Then, the other disciples of the Divine Dragon Valley flew back to the station together. Senior brother, senior sister, what's the treasure ordering meeting? Lu Ming asked curiously on the way. The treasure ordering meeting is a competition between the 13 top sects before the treasure ordering meeting begins. The rule is that the participants must be below the 7th level of the martial royal realm and below the age of 50. Tian Shui explained. In Yuan continent, the young people's temperament was somewhat different from that in the Divine Wilderness continent. In the Divine Wilderness continent, those below the age of 30 were the younger generation, the golden age of cultivation. However, in Yuan continent, those below the age of 50 were the younger generation. This was because the cultivation environment in Yuan continent was too good. Many people had broken through to the martial royal realm at a young age, and had a lifespan of 10,000 to 20,000 years. Their vitality was extremely strong. Compared to 10,000 to 20,000 years ago, 50 years old was still the golden age of youth with unlimited potential. As a matter of fact, cultivators below the 7th layer martial dominator realm are considered the reserve strength of their respective sections. They will participate in the treasure pedestal in 3 or 6 years' time. Consider it as a chance to observe the upcoming treasure pedestal, as well as the strength of their respective sects. Xuanninglong explained. Lu Ming suddenly understood. This could be considered a small-scale treasure sorting convention, so it was called the Treasure Sorting Convention. Chapter 1527. After the Sage Realm Elder finished his instructions, he led the group to the location of the treasure peddling meeting. Of course, they weren't the only ones going. Many other disciples were going to watch as well. The location of the treasure peddling meeting was in a huge building halfway up Tsang Mountain. The building was circular, and the top was empty. When Lu Ming and the others arrived, they saw a huge battle stage in the middle of the building. Around the battle stage were 13 huge cylindrical platforms. They were slightly higher than the battle stage, and surrounded the battle stage in the middle. Looking down from the sky, each cylindrical platform had a number on it. They were arranged from 1 to 13 in a counterclockwise direction. Outside the cylindrical platforms were rows of spectator stands. They were slightly higher than the cylindrical platforms, so the people sitting on the spectator stands could clearly see the situation on the battle stage. Outside the spectator stands there were many pavilions. They were even higher up. We participants will land on those platforms. Let's go down. Hansen said and landed first. They didn't deliberately choose a platform, and landed on platform number 10. The Sage Realm Elder flew into one of the pavilions. The other disciples of Dragon God Valley, who followed Lu Ming, and the others landed on the spectator stands behind platform number 10. Dragon God Valley, you guys are pretty early. A cold voice sounded. In the sky, sacred light spread. The people of Heavenly God sect had arrived. The people of Heavenly God sect didn't stand on ceremony and landed on platform number 1. The disciples of Heavenly God sect, who didn't participate in the competition, landed on the spectator stands behind platform number 1. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, the sound of something breaking through the air could be heard. In the sky, a dense crowd was flying toward the platform. The 13 top sects arrived one after another. Each sect had 36 participants who landed on the platform. The other disciples landed on the spectator stands. Among them, Sky Universe Demon Sect landed on platform number 2. Heavenly King Palace, platform number 3. Demonic Moon Sect, platform number 4. Desire Poison Sect, platform number 5. Nine Heaven Sword Sect, platform number 6. Linglong Palace, platform number 7. Platform number 8 was empty. The sects hadn't arrived yet. Intentionless Saber Sect, platform number 9. Platform number 10 was for Dragon God Valley. Platform number 11 was for Piyuan Family. Platform number 12 was for Blood Demon Tower. Platform number 13 was for Demon Castle. Among the 13 top sects, the mysterious Life and Death Sword Sect had yet to arrive. Whoosh, whoosh. At this moment, streaks of sword light streaked across the sky. The people of the Life and Death Sword faction had arrived. So few people. Lu Ming looked over and could not help being stunned. The Life and Death Sword faction had sent 13 people. Apart from the old man leading the group, there were only 12 people from the younger generation. Whoosh, whoosh. 12 disciples of Life and Death Sword sect's disciples from the Life and Death sect. Lu Ming, the Life and Death Sword sect is very strict in accepting disciples. Hence, they have the least number of disciples. Every time they participate in the treasure ordering assembly, there are 12 of them. Sometimes, they can't even gather all 12 of them. Although they are at a disadvantage because they have fewer disciples, no one dares to belittle them. This is because everyone in the Life and Death Sword sect is a genius. Lu Ming nodded. He saw a familiar face in the Life and Death Sword sect, Luo Xiang. Luo Xiang had left a deep impression on him. He was a Peak 9 Heavens Supreme, who had nurtured his sword soul for 15 years. Dragon God Valley. They really dare to come. In the Heavenly Universe Demon Sect, Mohe's cold gaze landed on the Divine Dragon Valley, and Lu Ming. Isn't it better that they're here? This time, let's kill everyone from Dragon God Valley. A genius of the Heavenly Divinity Sect said coldly. His body glowed with a sacred light, and his eyes were filled with murderous intent. That's right. Kill them all. The young man who had stopped Lu Ming, and the others from the Desire Poison Sect said coldly. He glared at Lu Ming and the others. Strength doesn't depend on words. We'll know who lives and who dies later. Lu Ming said as he clenched his fists. This time, I'll kill to my heart's content. Lu Ming, I'll take your life. He pointed at Lu Ming and a saber glow appeared. I'll take your life too. Lu Ming replied coldly. The Dragon God Valley, the Sky Demon Sect, the Desire Poison Sect, and the Heavenly Divinity Sect were filled with hostility even before the battle began. They were not the only ones. The other sects had conflicts with each other too. They glared at each other with murderous intent, filling the place with a murderous aura. Meanwhile, in a courtyard of the Heavenly Divinity Sect, the Divine Sun stood with his hands behind his back. Guan stood behind the Divine Sun respectfully and reported to him. I didn't expect so many things to happen just because I came a few days late. The people of the Dragon God Valley are getting bolder, and you all are trash. You can't even kill a few people who have not even reached the 7th layer Martial Dominator realm. The Divine Sun said coldly. If it weren't for that kid's strange pet that can affect time, I would have killed him long ago. Guan said. The space-time spirit mouse was a legendary creature. Not everyone knew about it. Guan didn't recognize it as a space-time spirit mouse. A pet that can affect time. The Divine Sun's eyes turned cold and murderous intent burst out of his body. Tell me, what does that kid look like? And what do his two companions look like? Is there a true dragon among them? The Divine Sun asked a few questions. There is indeed a true dragon. It's a snow dragon and... Then, Guan described the appearance of Lu Ming and the others. It's indeed them. They dared to set me up in the Dragon Palace. The Divine Son's eyes turned cold. Back then, in the Dragon Palace, he had used an ancient talisman of the God-forbidden void to suppress the Black Dragon's corpse. However, someone had secretly sabotaged him and destroyed the ancient talisman, allowing the Black Dragon to escape. All his efforts were in vain. He had been trying to find out who the culprit was. Now he knew it was Lu Ming. Who else could it be other than Lu Ming, who could affect time and space? Ignorant fool, where is he now? I'll go and kill him. The Divine Son exuded a cold, murderous intent. Divine Son, Lu Ming should be participating in the treasure sorting meeting. The 13 top sects will be gathering. If you kill him now, I'm afraid the other sects will be angry. Shiguan said hurriedly. Then let's wait until the treasure sorting meeting is over before killing him. After saying that, the Divine Son took a step forward and disappeared. The smell of gunpowder in the treasure sorting meeting was getting stronger. At this moment, an old man stepped into the air and appeared on the fighting ring. The old man was dressed in white and was a sage realm elder of the Celestial Sect. Over the years, the Celestial Sect had become stronger and stronger. They had won first place in 2 consecutive treasure sorting meetings. They had even won first place twice in the treasure sorting meeting. Chapter 1528. Since we were the winner last time, I'll be the host this time, and all the elders will supervise. The voice of the Celestial Sect's Sage Realm Elder reverberated throughout the area. He scanned the crowd and said, I believe that most people already know the rules of the competition. However, I still have to repeat the rules of the competition. You are divided into 13 platforms. Apart from the Life and Death Sword faction, each sect has 36 people. The rules of the competition are very simple. First, the Divine Sect in the first platform will send one person to the fighting platform. He can challenge anyone from any sect until one of them is killed or knocked off the fighting platform. Then the competition will be over. The winner will go back to the platform and wait for the next challenge. After the first platform's challenge is over, it will be the turn of the second platform's sect to send one person to challenge. They can also challenge anyone from any sect until one person is defeated. Just like that, it will be the turn of the third platform to send someone to challenge, followed by the fourth platform, and all the way to the 13th platform. At least 13 people will be eliminated in one round. In theory, there will be a total of 36 rounds. Do you understand? The Sage Realm Elder of the Celestial God Sect said loudly. Understood. The crowd responded. Remember, you're not allowed to admit defeat during the challenge. Only when you fall off the fighting ring or get killed will the challenge be considered over. This way, there will be a sect that will be eliminated in the end. The first 3 sects to be eliminated will be the last 3 sects, and they won't be able to participate in this treasure sorting meeting. The Sage Realm Elder explained again, which made many people clench their fists. No matter what, they couldn't be the last 3 sections. Otherwise, their sects wouldn't even be qualified to participate in the treasure sorting meeting. How shameful would that be? In the end, only one sect will be left. The sect that survives until the end will be rewarded. The reward this time is the Emperor Area Elixir. 7 Emperor Area Elixirs. The crowd was in an uproar. What? The reward this time is so generous? It's the Emperor Area Elixir, and 7 of them. How generous! Many people exclaimed. Lu Ming's eyes were burning with passion. As the name suggested, the Emperor Area Elixir was refined with the Emperor Area fruit as the main ingredient. It was said that a single Emperor Region pill required 9 Emperor Region fruits and other precious materials to refine. An Imperial Domain fruit could allow a low-rank ruler to directly break through one level. On the other hand, a single Royal Domain pill was capable of allowing a mid-rank monarch or even a high-rank monarch to directly break through a level of cultivation. How precious was that? To intermediate rulers like them, it was a fatal attraction. It was especially so for Lu Ming. It was too difficult for him to improve his primal chaos domain. However, if he had the Emperor Domain pill, it would greatly reduce the time he needed to break through. The most important point is that saint weapons are not allowed to be used in this competition. Whoever uses a saint weapon will be killed without mercy. Alright, These are the rules for this competition. Now, let the competition begin. The celestial divine sect's sage realm elder announced. Then he turned around and returned to a pavilion. Alright, since the heavenly god sect is standing on platform number 1, let us be the first to send out someone to fight. On the first platform, a white-robed youth spoke. It was obvious that this person was the leader of the heavenly divinity sect. Every sect would arrange a leader to be in charge of adjusting the battle strategy. Having said that, the white-robed youth pointed at a youth and said, "You can go up. Follow the plan." Yes. The youth nodded. His eyes flashed coldly as he stepped forward and appeared on the platform. He looked around, and his gaze landed on platform number 10, where the people of the Dragon God Valley were. "You come down here and die." The heavenly divinity sect youth pointed at a 4th-rank martial royal from the Dragon God Valley. As expected, he was challenging the Dragon God Valley. The crowd was startled. The Dragon God Valley and the heavenly divinity sect had a grudge against each other. Moreover, with the incident involving Lu Ming and the others, it was inevitable that the heavenly divinity sect would target the Dragon God Valley. "Do you think I'm afraid of you?" The Dragon God Valley youth said. He stepped forward and charged onto the platform. The two of them faced each other. Die! Die! Almost at the same time, the two of them charged at each other, and their palms collided. Bang! The Dragon God Valley youth's body shook violently. He was knocked back and spat out a mouthful of blood. Shit, he's a peak 5th-rank martial royal. Damn it! Someone from the Dragon God Valley shouted. Die! The young man from the celestial sect had gained the upper hand in one move. He took a step forward, and his body turned into a flash of white lightning as he rushed towards the young man from the Dragon God Valley. A godly retribution spear appeared and pierced towards the young man from the Dragon God Valley. Back off! The Dragon God Valley youth retreated. He knew that he was no match for the heavenly divinity sect youth. He could only stay alive by leaving the platform. "You won't be able to escape. Die!" The heavenly divinity sect youth said coldly. Holy light burst out from his body, and the godly retribution spear increased in speed. Slash! The godly retribution spear pierced through the young man's dantian and pinned him on the battle stage. Everyone thought that the Dragon God Valley would fight back and send out an expert to challenge the heavenly divinity sect, the sky demon sect, or the poison sect. The young man from the monster castle stepped onto the platform and began to fight with Hiyu. The young man from the monster castle was on par with Hiyu in terms of combat strength. After a few dozen moves, Hiyu was at a disadvantage and was knocked off the platform. "He cowardly," Lu Ming said coldly. The other disciples of the Dragon God Valley were also enraged. Everyone could tell that Hiyu was cowardly. He was afraid that he would be challenged by the heavenly divinity sect and the other two sects if he stayed on the platform. That was why he went up to challenge the monster castle, who was on good terms with the Dragon God Valley. Moreover, he lost after a few dozen moves when they were on par with each other. It was obvious that he lost on purpose. This way, as the person who had lost, he would be considered eliminated. Naturally, he would not be challenged by other sections. "I think junior brother Hiyu did the right thing. Why should he be responsible for the mistakes of others?" Inqing said coldly. Afterward, he cast a cold glance at Lu Ming. The eyes of some of the disciples of the Dragon God Valley flickered. "Alright, all of you shut up," Han Sun shouted. He was infuriated. As the leader of the Dragon God Valley, he was at his wit's end. At this moment, Lu Ming stepped forward and came before Han Sun. "Senior brother Han Sun, Lu Ming has a plan to avenge the Dragon God Valley." Lu Ming said with a fist salute. "What plan do you have?" Han Sun's eyes lit up. The other disciples of the Dragon God Valley looked over curiously. Lu Ming immediately sent a voice transmission to Han Sun, telling him his plan. "Junior brother Lu, are you confident?" Han Sun asked solemnly after hearing the plan. "Yes, and this is the only way for the Dragon God Valley to fight back. This is the only way to minimize our losses. Don't challenge the Celestial Divinity sect, the Empyrean Demon sect, or the Poison sect. You can choose from the other sections." Han Sun pointed at a young man. Wang Fei. Everyone from the Dragon God Valley looked at Han Sen in surprise. Now wasn't it their turn to counterattack? Shouldn't they send out an expert to kill someone from the Heavenly Divinity sect? Why did they send out Wang Fei? Wang Fei was only a fourth-layer martial emperor. He was considered the weakest among the remaining people of the Divine Dragon Valley. Moreover, he wasn't allowed to challenge the three great sects of the Heavenly Divinity sect. The others were astonished. Wang Fei himself was also stunned. Go! Han Sen spoke again. Roger. Wang Fei nodded and flew up to the fighting ring. He chose a disciple of the intentionless saber sect, whose cultivation was similar to his. The two fought fiercely. After exchanging more than 100 blows, Wang Fei was knocked out of the ring. Dragon God Valley, what's the meaning of this? I don't understand. It's finally their turn. Instead of sending out an expert to counterattack, they sent out a weakling to challenge the other sections. I really don't understand what the Dragon God Valley is trying to do. It's simple. The Dragon God Valley is forced to give up the chance to counterattack to protect their weaker disciples. Otherwise, they would be killed by the three great sects. That's right. Many people discussed among themselves. They finally understood the Dragon God Valley's decision. With this, they could at least protect some of their disciples. Humph, how sad. Let's eliminate the Dragon God Valley first. They won't even be able to take part in the treasure pedestal. The leader of the Heavenly Divinity sect said with a hollow laugh. Haha, that's right. I heard that the Dragon God Valley is well prepared to come first in the treasure pedestal. I wonder what would happen if they couldn't even take part in the treasure pedestal? The geniuses of the Heavenly Divinity sect who were rank 7 Martial Royal Realm and above laughed mockingly. Some of the geniuses of the Heavenly Divinity sect, who were rank 7 Martial Royal Realm and above, looked gloomy. Lu Ming was the only one who looked calm on the 10th platform. Just wait, the counterattack will begin soon. Lu Ming muttered to himself. The competition continued. Soon, the second round came to an end. The Dragon God Valley was still the most miserable sect. 3 of them were killed and 1 was defeated. After 2 rounds, 6 of them were killed and 2 of them were defeated. Only 28 out of 36 were left. The third round began. Just like the previous round, the Heavenly Divinity sect, Empyrean Demon sect, and Desire Poison sect sent out their experts to challenge the weaklings of the Dragon God Valley. They had come prepared. Although the young man of the Dragon God Valley rushed down the fighting stage, as soon as he attacked, the opponents sent out were much stronger than him. They managed to kill another 3 of the Dragon God Valley's disciples. When it was the Dragon God Valley's turn, Han Sen sent out a weak disciple to challenge the other sections. He was defeated but managed to survive. Soon the third round ended. 9 of the Dragon God Valley's disciples were killed and 3 were defeated. A total of 12 people were eliminated. At this point, the young men of the rank 4 Martial Royal Realm had either died or been defeated. Only Lu Ming was still a rank 4 Martial Royal Realm cultivator. Everyone in the Dragon God Valley looked gloomy, and the atmosphere was heavy. Ah, damn it, Han Sen, why didn't we send out our experts to fight back? Send me in the next round. I want to kill these sons of bitches. Tian Shui waved his big hammer and roared angrily. He was extremely anxious. Lu Ming and Han Sen looked cold and did not say anything. Xuaningxin glanced at Lu Ming, deep in thought. Then the fourth round began. It was the Heavenly Divinity sect's turn again. Whoosh! A figure jumped onto the fighting stage on the first platform. Boom! A powerful aura burst out from his body. Rank 6 Martial Royal Realm. The Heavenly Divinity sect started to send out rank 6 Martial Royal Realm cultivators, because the remaining people in the Dragon God Valley were all rank 5 Martial Royal Realm cultivators and above. The person looked arrogant and looked at Lu Ming. In the end, he said with a cold smile, Lu Ming, get down here and accept your death. He wants to challenge me? Lu Ming's eyes lit up. Lu Ming, kill him. Kill this bastard. Tian Shui shouted. Don't worry, Lu Ming said. He stepped out and appeared on the fighting stage. Lu Ming, how dare you kill the people of the Heavenly Divinity sect again and again? Chapter 1531. Soon, there will be one more member of the Heavenly God sect dying in my hands. Lu Ming said coldly. Haha, ridiculous. Lu Ming, I know your strength is impressive, but it's mostly due to your sacred weapon. Now that you can't use your sacred weapon, how strong can your strength be? I'm a 6th-layer martial dominator. Killing you will be a piece of cake. The young man of the heavenly god sect burst out laughing. His aura grew stronger and more shocking. Without a doubt, this young man of the heavenly god sect was a powerful genius. He had cultivated a mid-tier earthly spiritual body, which was extremely powerful. Among the geniuses of the heavenly god sect, his talent was comparable to Shi Tian's. With his strength, he could easily defeat someone with a higher cultivation. Furthermore, Lu Ming was only a 4th-layer martial dominator. He was confident that he could kill Lu Ming without using his sacred weapon. Nonsense, come on, use your full strength. Lu Ming said calmly. Since you're so eager to die, I'll send you on your way. Die. The genius of the heavenly god sect emitted a brilliant sacred glow as a godly retribution spear appeared in his hand. The godly retribution spear penetrated the rift and stabbed toward Lu Ming. Its terrifying sharpness whistled in the heavens and earth, as if it could penetrate everything in the world. The genius of the celestial god sect used his killer move right away. He wanted to kill Lu Ming in one move. Roar! The cry of a dragon could be heard coming from Lu Ming's body. Following this, the chaotic domain wrapped around Lu Ming's fist as he threw out a punch. The hell-suppressing heaven skill was unleashed. The punch was aimed at the godly retribution spear. You dare to use your fist against my godly retribution spear? Die! The genius of the heavenly god sect snapped. The people of the heavenly god sect on the platform and the spectators stand smirked coldly. However, their smirks stiffened at the next moment. Bang! Lu Ming's fist blasted the divine punishment spear. The divine punishment spear exploded instantly. Lu Ming's fist blasted toward the other party, as if it was crushing dry weeds and rotten wood. No, no. The young man's eyes widened as he screamed in his heart. He had thought he could kill Lu Ming's attack with a single blow. He did not even set up a defense, but it was too late. Bang! Lu Ming's fist collided with the young man's body. The young man's body's body instantly exploded into pieces. He was dead. The genius of the celestial divine sect, a 6th-level martial emperor expert, had been killed by Lu Ming with one punch. Trash is a piece of trash. He stretched out his hand and sucked the storage ring of the celestial god sect's genius into his hand. Kills is s. Tion's s skills as he's minds is. Sect. S's sex hands sect. Two's is there. S mind. S heart. Mind. S god. Of the god. Of the god. S two's bees. SS God's minds. Damn it, it's Lu Ming again. Many people from the heavenly god sect were enraged. Leave Lu Ming to me. I want him to die a horrible death. Lu Quan was careless just now. Leave Lu Ming to me. The other geniuses from the heavenly god sect shouted angrily. Alright, I'll be waiting. Come and challenge me then. Lu Ming looked at the heavenly god sect coldly. Then, he glanced at the Sky Demon sect and the Poison sect. Dragon God Valley's counterattack will begin soon. Lu Ming's body flashed, and he returned to the fighting ring. Let's continue. The leader of the heavenly god sect shouted as he looked at the Sky Demon sect. Don't worry, the Dragon God Valley's end is already decided. The leader of the Sky Demon sect sneered. He then sent out an expert to challenge a rank 5 martial king from the Dragon God Valley. The rank 5 martial king from the Dragon God Valley was also very strong. He tried his best to rush down the fighting ring, but he was almost killed at the edge of the fighting ring. Then it was the Poison sect's turn. Another person from the Dragon God Valley was killed. The Life and Death Sword sect issued a challenge on the 8th fighting ring. Until now, the Life and Death Sword sect had not lost a single person. Whoosh! Sword radiance flashed, and a figure appeared on the fighting ring. This person was Luo Xiang, whom Lu Ming had met in the Tsang Emperor's secret territory. Luo Xiang looked around, and his gaze landed on a rank 6 martial king on the heavenly god sect's fighting ring. He said, "You fight with me." Many people were surprised. The Life and Death Sword sect was challenging the heavenly god sect. The heavenly god sect's genius who was being challenged looked gloomy as he stepped onto the fighting ring. He looked at Luo Xiang and said, "Make your move." Make your move first. Otherwise, you won't have a chance. Luo Xiang said coldly. How arrogant. Let's see what you've got. The heavenly god sex genius shouted. A divine retribution spear appeared and stabbed towards Luo Xiang. Clang! A sword radiance flashed from Luo Xiang's hand. It was too fast. Almost no one could see how Luo Xiang had attacked. The sword radiance flashed across the sky. In the next moment, Luo Xiang's sword returned to its sheath. You! The heavenly god sex genius opened his eyes wide and stared at Luo Xiang unwillingly. Then his body was split into two. Dead. A rank 6 martial king of the heavenly god sect had been killed by Luo Xiang with a single slash. How powerful! Is this the life and death sword sex sword technique? It's too terrifying. Luo Xiang is only a rank 5 martial king. Many people exclaimed. More people felt a chill run down their spines. How could they dodge such a slash? This Luo Xiang is indeed not simple. Lu Ming's eyes were filled with amazement. He had heard that Luo Xiang was a peak martial saint and had been cultivating his sword soul for 15 years. Such a person was extremely terrifying. Now that Luo Xiang had broken through and obtained the sword Dao inheritance in the Emperor's secret territory, he had truly soared. In a short period of time, his cultivation had skyrocketed, and he had reached rank 5 martial king. Moreover, he had killed a genius of the heavenly god sect with a single slash. Such a person would become more terrifying the longer he had broken through to the martial king realm. Back in the Emperor Tsong's secret territory, Luo Xiang had just broken through to the martial king realm, and his potential had not been fully unleashed. Now he was truly terrifying. Luo Xiang, our heavenly god sect has not offended your life and death sword sect. Why did you kill our people? The leader of the heavenly god sect asked coldly. It's simple. I don't like you. Luo Xiang said indifferently. Then, he stepped out and returned to the life and death sword sect's platform. Good job, good job. I'm starting to like this Luo Xiang. Tian Shui grinned. The competition continued. When it was Dragon God Valley's turn, Han Sun sent out the person with the lowest cultivation level to challenge the other sect's geniuses. The person was defeated. Soon the 4th round was over. In this round, Dragon God Valley had lost 2 people, lost 1 and won 1. There were still 21 people left. However, up until now, those who remained in Dragon God Valley were getting stronger and stronger. The heavenly divinity sect's genius shouted. He took a step forward and turned into a ray of sacred light, rushing towards Lu Ming. Whoosh! The spear of divine retribution streaked across the void, emitting a terrifying whistling sound. Boom! Lu Ming punched out, colliding with the spear of divine punishment. With a loud explosion, Lu Ming remained motionless, while the other party retreated several steps. Your combat strength is just SOSO. Lu Ming smiled faintly. I'm not done yet. The other party snapped furiously as a milky white book flew out from his forehead. The book was an emperor's spiritual weapon. The book flipped open, emitting rays of white light that landed on the figure of the heavenly divinity sect's genius. His aura became stronger. A long spear appeared in his hand, which was milky white in color. He lashed out with the spear, which was stronger than before. Boom! Boom! Lu Ming threw out a few punches in succession. Terrifying fist intents swept across the void, aiming at his opponent. His opponent kept lashing out with his spear, which transformed into terrifying spears of divine punishment that collided with Lu Ming's fist intents. Terrifying explosions took place on the fighting stage. In the blink of an eye, the two had exchanged more than 10 blows. That Lu Ming's strength is incredible. He's only a peak 4th layer martial dominator realm cultivator, yet he's able to fight against a peak 6th layer martial dominator realm genius. It's indeed terrifying, but Lu Ming's cultivation is 2 layers lower than his. I'm sure he's going to lose. Not necessarily. The person from the heavenly divinity sect only has a middle-tier earthly astral body, while Lu Ming has a superior-tier earthly astral body. The crowd discussed among themselves. Die. The strength of the genius from the heavenly divinity sect became even more ferocious as he continued to attack Lu Ming. "Is this your limit? Let's end this then," Lu Ming said in a cold tone. Boom. It was as if Lu Ming's fist intent could penetrate the void, shattering the spears of divine punishment that the genius from the heavenly divinity sect had thrown out. Bang! Then, Lu Ming took a step forward and threw a punch that destroyed everything. He landed a heavy blow on the other party's chest. The force surged and broke through several layers of the other party's defense, bombarding the other party's armor. The armor vibrated as the genius from the heavenly divinity sect was sent flying. He slid on the fighting ring for a long distance and spat out a few mouthfuls of blood. Lu Ming had not used his full strength just now. Now Lu Ming unleashed his full strength. Although his opponent's cultivation was 2 layers higher than his, Lu Ming's astral body and chaotic domain were much stronger than his opponent's astral body and chaotic domain. He was able to make up for the difference between their cultivation levels. Chapter 1533. Good job. Tian Shui yelled excitedly. So did the people from Dragon God Valley. The Celestial Divinity Sect had lost 3 level 6 Martial Royal Realm geniuses. Lu Ming had killed 2 and Luo Xiang had killed 1. Damn it! Lu Ming deserves to die. Someone from the Celestial Divinity Sect shouted angrily. There weren't many geniuses with medium earth spiritual bodies in the Celestial Divinity Sect. Now that Lu Ming had killed several of them, it was a great loss. Lu Ming put away his spoils and returned to the platform. Next, it was the Sky Demon Sect's turn. "I'll go." Someone from the Sky Demon Sect stepped forward. "It's him, Emohi. Emohi is going to fight personally. Who will he challenge?" Many people were shocked. Emohi was a top genius in the Sky Demon Sect. He had a high earth spiritual body and was at the peak of level 6 Martial Royal Realm. He had a high chance of becoming one of the top 10 geniuses in the Tsang Prefecture. The top 10 geniuses of the Tsang Prefecture all had high earth spiritual bodies. In theory, anyone who cultivated a high earth spiritual body would have a chance of becoming one of the top 10 geniuses. Of course, it was just a chance. Even if one had a high earth spiritual body and had the same cultivation, there would be differences in combat strength. For example, the strength of one's domain martial technique, one's combat strength, and various secret techniques would determine one's combat strength. Emohi's gaze landed on the 5 people from the Divine Dragon Valley. His gaze swept across them before finally landing on Ziyu. "I knew he would challenge me," Ziyu said with a smile. "Ziyu, if you can't beat him, get off the platform and save your life," Han Sun warned. Although Ziyu's combat strength was strong, he didn't have a high earth spiritual body and was no match for Emohi. "I know. Don't worry." Ziyu stepped onto the platform. Without further ado, the battle began. Ziyu was a genius from Purple Dragon Valley. He cultivated the Purple Dragon Battle Body, which was a medium earth spiritual body. His domain had reached the peak of level 7, and his domain martial technique had reached the peak. His combat strength was astonishing. Although Ziyu's spiritual body was inferior to Emohi's spiritual body, the difference in their combat strength was not too great. It was impossible for Emohi to kill Ziyu in a short period of time. The two exchanged close to 100 moves before Ziyu lost and was blasted off the battle stage. Ziyu had failed. There were only 4 people left in the Dragon God Valley. The challenges continued, and soon, it was the Desire Poison Sect's turn. The leader of the Desire Poison Sect looked at the 4 from the Dragon God Valley and hesitated. None of the remaining 4 from Dragon God Valley were simple. If they wanted to send someone to fight, they could only send someone with an earthly spiritual body, a peak 6th layer martial emperor realm cultivator. Moreover, they wouldn't be able to kill Lu Ming and the others. Even if they could defeat one of Lu Ming's group, they would be injured, which would be disadvantageous for them in the following battles. In the end, the Desire Poison Sect sent out a weakling. For the first time, they didn't challenge the Dragon God Valley but another sect. The Heavenly God Sect's leader's face darkened. However, he knew that the Heavenly God Sect, the Sky Universe Demon Sect, and the Desire Poison Sect had teamed up to deal with the Dragon God Valley. However, the 3 sects all wanted the final victory. If they sent out their best geniuses now, Both sides would be injured, and it would be disadvantageous for them in the following battles. After the Desire Poison sect, the 9 Heaven Sword sect sent someone to fight. Soon, it was the Dragon God Valley's turn. A cold killing intent flashed in Han Sun's eyes as he said, "Now let's start the counterattack. Tian Shui, you go." "Good, haha, it's finally my turn." Tian Shui laughed. He was about to explode from holding back. Now it was finally his turn. Boom! Tian Shui landed on the battle stage, and his eyes fell on a young man from the Heavenly God sect. He shouted, "You come down and die. Do you think I'm afraid of you?" The young man from the Heavenly God sect jumped onto the battle stage and attacked Tian Shui. "Go to hell!" Tian Shui roared. He was like a mad dragon as he swung his giant hammer at his opponent, ignoring his opponent's attack and defense. Boom! The young man from the Heavenly God sect screamed in pain as he was smashed into a pile of meat by Tian Shui's hammer. "Die, die!" Skyhammer roared. His huge hammer danced in the air, causing the void to rumble. His eyes were filled with malevolent killing intent. Good, good kill. The disciples of the Dragon God Valley cheered happily. Han Sun and Lu Ming revealed a cold smile on their faces. The Dragon God Valley's counterattack was finally going to start. This was Lu Ming's plan. First protect the people, then counterattack. This was to preserve the lives of the Dragon God Valley's disciples and leave the strongest one alive. At the beginning, many people were killed. They had no choice but to do so. If they didn't do so, the weaker disciples would all die. Saving the counterattack for the last was the only way to preserve the lives of the Dragon God Valley's disciples. The disciples of the Heavenly God sect gritted their teeth in anger. The people from the other sects were deep in thought. They seemed to have thought of something. Skyhammer returned to the platform. After that, another 3 matches were held. This round ended, and the 10th round began. It was the Heavenly God sect's turn to challenge again. At this moment, everyone's eyes were on the Heavenly God sect. How would the Heavenly God sect fight? Would they continue to challenge the Dragon God Valley? Who would they send? At this moment, the leader of the Heavenly God sect looked gloomy and hesitant. He was in a difficult situation. The remaining 4 from the Dragon God Valley had terrifying combat strength. If he were to send someone to challenge them, he would definitely send the strongest Sky Prides. Sending the others would only be sending them to their deaths. Moreover, it wouldn't be easy to defeat Lu Ming, Tian Shui, and the others. Even if they could win, they would definitely be injured, and their combat strength would be greatly reduced. If the Heavenly God sect's strongest cultivators were injured, the other sect's strongest cultivators would definitely not let go of this opportunity. They would challenge the Heavenly God sect's strongest cultivators. In this way, the Heavenly God sect's strongest cultivators would probably be eliminated. Without their strongest cultivators, the Heavenly God sect might not even be able to enter the top 10. The Heavenly God sect was now in a passive position. The Sky Prides of the other sects had obviously thought of this, and were looking forward to it. How could this be? The leader of the Heavenly God sect clenched his fists tightly. Similarly, the leaders of the Sky Universe Demon sect and Desire Poison sect felt the same. Hey, are you guys going to challenge them or not? Don't dawdle and waste other people's time. Lu Ming said calmly, as if he was waiting for the Heavenly God sect's challenge. Lu Ming. Many disciples of the Heavenly God sect gritted their teeth and glared at Lu Ming. However, they definitely wouldn't dare to challenge Lu Ming. They would only be courting death. Brother Wu, brother demon. At this moment, the leader of the Heavenly God sect sent a message to the leaders of the Sky Universe Demon sect and Desire Poison sect. How about this? Let's put the Dragon God Valley aside and eliminate the weakest sects first. Then, we'll gather our strength to deal with the Dragon God Valley. What do you think? Alright, I agree. This time, Xuanningsin had challenged the Heavenly God sect to a duel, and had killed a 6th-layer martial dominator realm genius of the Heavenly God sect, causing the crowd of the Heavenly God sect to wear unpleasant expressions. Previously, they had hunted down the disciples of the Dragon God Valley. They were so arrogant that the Dragon God Valley could hardly retaliate. But now, the people of Dragon God Valley were hunting them down, and they couldn't fight back. They were so depressed that they wanted to die. In the 11th round, the Heavenly God Sect, Sky Universe Demon Sect, and Desire Poison Sect continued to challenge the Piyuan family. When it was Dragon God Valley's turn, it was finally Han Sun's turn. Han Sun also challenged a 6th-layer martial dominator realm genius of the Heavenly God Sect. Han Sun had a spiritual body, and his cultivation was at the peak of the 6th Huangqi layer. He was extremely powerful, and his opponent couldn't even rush down the fighting stage. He was easily killed by Han Sun. The Heavenly God Sect could only endure. They had to endure until 3 other sects were eliminated, and then they would fight back. In the 12th round, the 3 great sects of the Heavenly God Sect continued to challenge the Piyuan clan. Because there were other sects challenging the Piyuan clan, the Piyuan clan only had a few people left. They were doomed to be eliminated. This round it was finally Lu Ming's turn. Whoosh! Lu Ming stepped forward and appeared on the fighting stage. He looked at the Heavenly God Sect. The crowd wasn't surprised at all. Dragon God Valley had come to take revenge by killing the people of the Heavenly God Sect. When Lu Ming looked at the remaining geniuses of the Heavenly God Sect, their faces changed drastically. A few of the 6th-layer martial dominators turned pale. In the end, Lu Ming's eyes fell on a white-haired young man. "You come down and die," Lu Ming said coldly. "What? Lu Ming is going to challenge by MO." The crowd was shocked. "This is going to be interesting. It's going to be exciting." Indeed, I didn't expect that Lu Ming would challenge by MO now. In recent years, there have been many geniuses in the Celestial Sect. There are many powerful people. It is said that there are 3 superior grade Earth spirit bodies who are attending the treasure sorting meeting. Bayamo is one of them. That's right. Bayamo is one of the top experts in the treasure sorting meeting. Many people spoke excitedly. The battle between the top experts was about to begin. Junior brother Lu Ming. Han Sun's eyes lit up. Lu Ming's action was out of his expectation. He thought that Lu Ming would challenge an ordinary 6th-layer martial dominator. "You want to challenge me?" Bai Mo said coldly as killing intent surged from his body. "That's right," Lu Ming said. "Well, I wanted to kill you later. Since you're in a hurry to die, I'll send you on your way first," Bai Mo said coldly. His body moved and he appeared in the fighting ring, facing Lu Ming. "Is that so? The Heavenly God Sect will be heartbroken if I kill you." Lu Ming's lips curled into a cold smile. White energy cut. At this moment Bayamo moved. A snow-white sword gleam slashed toward Lu Ming at an astonishing speed. Before the sword arrived, the sharp intent pierced the air and produced a whistling sound. Not everyone in the Heavenly God Sect practiced the divine skill. Many of them practiced other skills. Buzz! A sovereign spiritual weapon appeared in Lu Ming's hand. He shook the long spear, and it turned into a spear radiance that pierced through the air. The spear radiance and the sword radiance collided, and a dense force spread out in all directions. Lu Ming and Bai Mo were already engaged in a fierce battle. Bai Mo's realm was very special. It was a vast expanse of white, and every ray of white radiance was a ray of sword chi. Coupled with Bai Mo's realm martial technique, its power was terrifying. The dense sword radiance pierced towards Lu Ming. Lu Ming used the 13 strikes. His long spear was like a dragon, sweeping across the void. Each strike contained 13 rays of attack power. The endless sword radiance was destroyed by the long spear and dissipated in the air. The 2 figures intertwined on the fighting ring and collided with each other from time to time. In the blink of an eye, the 2 had exchanged more than 50 blows. Divine Gate Seal. In the process of the battle, Lu Ming used the 9 seals of the Divine Gate. Suddenly, 6 sealed doors appeared and emitted rays of light to seal Bai Mo. Bai Mo's pupils contracted and he shouted, "God Bai Sword Shadow!" Bai Mo's body emitted a white light like a sword. In a flash, he rushed out of the 9 seals of the Divine Gate. What a wonderful spiritual body! Lu Ming's heart skipped a beat. Chapter 1535. He could not help but admit that the upper earthly spiritual body was extremely talented and powerful. Bai Mo's strength was absolutely shocking. With his cultivation of the peak 6th-layer martial dominator realm, he could easily kill an 8th-layer martial dominator realm expert. Divine White Sword Formation. Baemo uttered a roar as he charged out from the 9 seals of the God Gate. His eyes turned completely white as strange runes appeared in them. Buzz! In the sky, densely packed patterns suddenly appeared, like a huge white array formation. Following this, the same runes appeared under Lu Ming's feet, which looked like a giant formation. They surrounded Lu Ming from above and below. This is not a formation, but a secret technique of the spiritual body. Lu Ming was startled. Some powerful spiritual bodies were able to produce secret techniques of the spiritual body. In other words, they were brought along by the bloodline. For example, Lu Ming's devouring force was brought along by the bloodline of the 9 dragons. Even after refining the divine dragon flesh, it still retained the devouring force. Other bloodlines might also retain some powerful secret techniques after transforming into the spiritual body. Whoosh whoosh whoosh. Countless sword intents were emitted from the 2 runes and fired toward Lu Ming. Lu Ming had no way to retreat in all directions. Wind element technique. Lu Ming's heart shuddered as a blue force from the air-frozen bead entered Lu Ming's body. Lu Ming executed the wind element technique, causing his figure to turn into a breeze and float in the air. Lu Ming's figure swayed, leaving behind a string of afterimages. He flashed among the infinite sword auras, avoiding the sword auras. However, there were too many sword intents. In such a narrow space, Lu Ming could not dodge them all regardless of how fast his movement was. Whoosh! A sharp sword intent pierced toward Lu Ming's chest. Lu Ming's body was covered with the primal chaos domain, resisting the sword chi. Sizzling sounds could be heard as the sword chi pierced through the primal chaos domain and stabbed into Lu Ming's chest. It wasn't that the chaotic domain wasn't strong. First, the sword chi was too terrifying. Second, Lu Ming's chaotic domain was too weak. It was only level 4. At least for Baemo, his level was too low, so he couldn't defend against it. If it was a level 5 chaotic domain, the sword chi would not have been able to break through its defenses. However, the primal chaos domain had greatly weakened the power of the sword chi. Roar! At that instant, a dragon's roar could be heard from Lu Ming's body, as a layer of dragon scales appeared on his body. Clang! The sword chi struck the dragon scales, causing sparks to fly. The sword chi collapsed, and the dragon scales on Lu Ming's chest were slightly damaged, revealing a trace of blood. What terrifying sword chi! Lu Ming's heart stirred. Even an 8th-layer martial dominator realm cultivator would be slain by the sword intent from the 2 patterns. Whoosh! Whoosh! More energy poured into the air-frozen pearl. Lu Ming activated the wind origin skill to the maximum, and his speed increased. Lu Ming's figure was everywhere in the sky. However, Lu Ming couldn't rush out of the 2 patterns, because the 2 patterns had covered the entire fighting ring. If he rushed out of the pattern, it would mean that he had rushed out of the fighting ring. In that case, Lu Ming would lose this round. If it had been any other place, Lu Ming would have rushed out long ago. Haha! Lu Ming is doomed to die under Senior Brother by Mo's White God Sword Array. That's right. Senior Brother by Mo's eye technique has killed many high-level martial dominators. Once one is trapped in it, one will die unless one's cultivation is much higher than his. Lu Ming actually took the initiative to challenge Senior Brother by Mo. He's courting death. Seeing that Lu Ming was in danger, the disciples of the Celestial Sect were in a good mood. They couldn't help but mock and ridicule him. On the other hand, Tian Shui and Xuanixin were worried. In the fighting ring, Bai Mo's eyes had turned pure white. There were lines on his pupils that were exactly the same as the 2 patterns. Bai Mo stepped on the void and landed on the pattern above. His territory seemed to have merged with the pattern. Suddenly, the pattern became even more terrifying. The sword chi whistled, and its speed increased greatly. Lu Ming, today is the day you die. Bai Mo said coldly. It's too early for you to be happy. Lu Ming said indifferently. At the same time, Lu Ming continued to form seals with his hands. 9 seals of the Holy Gate. A deep voice could be heard as 6 sealed doors appeared. However, this time, the sealed doors were not facing Bai Mo, but Lu Ming himself. The 6 sealed doors floated around Lu Ming and shone brightly. The sword chi that was aimed at Lu Ming was suppressed by the power of the sealed doors and stopped in the air. 9 dragons stomping the sky, Following that, Lu Ming took 9 consecutive steps. The power of the 9 dragons' sky-stomping steps erupted, dispersing the sword aura below him. With the help of this force, Lu Ming's figure soared into the sky. Unknowingly, the Emperor's spiritual weapon Long Spear appeared in his hands again. He merged with the holy spiritual weapon and unleashed the 13 strikes. He shot up into the sky and attacked by Mo swoosh. Swoosh. In the process of shooting up into the sky, 2 black holy swords appeared in Lu Ming's eyes. Holy Sword Skill. Holy Sword Skill was a spiritual attack. It broke through Bai Mo's pattern and rushed into Bai Mo's body. Ah! At that moment Bai Mo screamed in pain. It was as if his soul was being torn apart. As a martial emperor's cultivation increased, his spiritual spirit would become stronger and stronger. At the same time, his soul would become stronger as well. The higher the cultivation level, the stronger the spiritual strength. Lu Ming's soul had been refined by the alchemy Calamity Bell. His spiritual strength was dozens of times stronger than a martial artist of the same level. During this period of time, he had been cultivating the Holy Sword Skill, and his spiritual strength had become stronger. If Lu Ming was facing a martial artist of the same level, Lu Ming would be able to destroy his soul with the Holy Sword Skill. Even a genius like Bai Mo, whose cultivation level was 2 levels higher than Lu Ming's, felt as if his soul was about to be torn apart. At that moment, the 2 patterns under Bai Mo's feet dimmed. Bam! Lu Ming broke through the patterns and pierced Bai Mo's body with his sharp spear. Ah! Bai Mo screamed in agony. Then, under Lu Ming's destructive power, his body and soul were destroyed. Bai Mo was dead. At that moment, there was a sudden silence around the fighting ring. Almost everyone opened their eyes wide and looked at the fighting ring in shock. Just a moment ago, Lu Ming had been completely suppressed and his life was in danger. However, in the next moment, the situation had been reversed. Lu Ming had killed Bai Mo with 1 blow. The change had happened so quickly that no one could react. Bai Mo had been killed, and the patterns on the fighting ring had disappeared. Bai Mo's body fell heavily on the fighting ring, and it had awakened everyone. There was an uproar at the scene. Senior brother Bai Mo. Junior brother Bai Mo. Ah, Lu Ming, you deserve to die. Angry shouts could be heard from the divine sect's side. Bai Mo had a superior earth spiritual body. There were not many geniuses like him in the divine sect. Every one of them had the potential to become one of the top 10 geniuses in the Tsang state. In the future, they would have a great chance to become a martial sage. They might even have a chance to become a supreme sage. To a sect, each of these geniuses was an immeasurable amount of wealth. You're tuning in to the Li Mei's Wuxia Whispers YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.